All right, guys, welcome to the Morning Skate, episode 358. Your host, Ked, joined by my co-host, Brownie. Brownie, how's it going, buddy?
Good. How you doing, Ben? I am living the dream over here.
Okay. Yeah, offline, you weren't I going through like a good spell. It seemed like a lot of bad things were happening, but hopefully the
Yeah,
podcast will
it's a
bring you
tough
back
one.
a little bit.
How do I fix my name?
We don't do names, so I can cut it up. What?
How do I fix it?
I don't know. I have no idea. We can figure it out post pod. I have no idea how to fix that.
We can figure it out post pod.
I don't know how to do that. I don't even have mine on here.
That's what I'm trying to make mine not there.
Yeah.
Just keep going. I'll figure it out.
All right. Yeah, guys, this is going to be the trade deadline special. We're going to go through. Brownie did an excellent job kind of putting together every NHL team, their acquisitions, their departures, what's going on there. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to go by each team and figure it out from there. Brownie, excellent job. Stick taps.
That felt like it was a month ago.
Yeah. And it really wasn't that long ago, if you think about it.
No. It's just time. It moves so fast. Now in the modern NHL and in social media days,
Yeah. Right.
Things move at the speed of sound.
Yeah. So we're gonna start alphabetical, right? So we'll start with the Anaheim Ducks acquisitions from the Islanders. They got Oliver Killington and they got Herman Traff and a conditional second rounder, and they sent Brian Dumoulin over to the Devils. They also retained 50%. Dumoulin's a great defenseman. I've always liked him. Bedford, Maine. Yeah. That's where Hal used to reside. Simple block shots, good first pass. Like you're never gonna be like, holy shit, Brian Dumoulin, but you'll be like, oh, Dumoulin made that play.
Middle pair can fill in on the top pair for like a 5-game stretch if someone gets sussied or an injury. You know, he's not going to make a mistake, but you're not going to jump out of your seat either.
I feel like he kind of like reminds me of Carlo like a little bit. Is that a weird comparison?
Yeah, without the concussion history.
Yeah, but like kind of similar players. They're never going to be like, holy shit, what a play, but you just know that they're always solid. Like they're getting a B+ on every homework assignment.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Nice segue.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Oh, B+, I like that. Boston. So you guys are full rebuild right now.
Oh, but they full rebuild, but they keep winning.
Fair enough. So to Colorado, they sent Charlie Coyle in a 5th-round pick. They got Casey Middlestat, William Zellers, and a 2nd-round pick. They traded a 4th-round pick for Henry Jokiharju.
Yep.
A 4th? I feel like that's like pretty good value for that guy.
Yeah, but Jokiharju is a UFA at the end of the year. Okay.
Carlo goes to Toronto for Fraser Minton and a 1st-round pick. Big haul for Carlo. Brad Marchand went to Florida for a conditional 2nd pick. The 2nd becomes a 1st. I think if he plays in more than
the Panthers have to win 2 rounds of the playoffs, and Marchand has to play in 50% of those games. So it's not regular season. So he can basically not play until the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then that becomes a number 1 pick.
They sent Justin Brazeau to Minnesota for Marat Kuznadanov. I don't know.
Kuznadanov, I think. That's how you say it.
I think we were both lost on that one. And a 6th-round pick. They sent Trent Frederick, Max Jones to Edmonton for Max Wanner, a 2nd-round pick in 2025 and a 4th-round pick in 2026.
Yep.
And they also lost Mark McLaughlin for Daniel Miziol.
Yep.
All right, Brownie, time to vent.
It's been a roller coaster of emotions, which I'm sure is not helping my state of mind. All right, so Charlie Coyle sucks. I'm a Charlie Coyle guy. His numbers are off this year. I just like the way he plays, but like we've talked about before, he was not in the right slot for his toolbox. Casey Middlestat has 2 more years at 5.75, which I believe is $1 million more than I think Charlie Coyle was for. I'm not 100%. Oh wait, I can see it right here because it'll be on the Colorado. But he's a good player. Middlestat is 5.25, 1 more for Coyle. So Oh, so that's actually not bad. That makes it a little better, really. Um, so that one hurt still though, because I do like Carlo. Justin Brazo, Trent Frederick, they were UFAs. They've made their decision to go elsewhere. I like Freddie, but he wants to go back to St. Louis. Mark McLaughlin. I mean, I used to play with a kid named Mark McLaughlin, and I'd rather have him. Uh, Marshawn hurt, right? Because it's Marshawn, and he's the captain, 16-year vet. All kinds of stuff coming out now that Marshawn had an 8-team trade list. So before you're saying, why did they move him to Florida? He chose Florida. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is Marshawn wanted 3 more years at 38 or 36, 36. He wanted 3 more years. The Bruins were not willing to do that term. And Marshawn requested a meeting with management, and Marshawn was willing to do more than management was in terms of meeting in the middle. All this said and done, they got, Middlestad's a good player. Jacob Lacko, I just love the way the kid runs around, and he's a little firecracker. Yoki Haru, maybe they'll re-sign him long term. This kid, Fraser Minton, is supposed to be a legit player. And Mishiel, the defenseman, too. And they have them RFAs. They have them under control, as well as Lacko. This would be a phenomenal boom because of the amount of picks they picked up. 2025 first, 2025 second, two seconds, a 2025 fourth, a 2026 fourth, a 2026 sixth, and then 2 different conditional picks. This would be a home run if someone else was doing the drafting. The problem is, as much as Don Sweeney can wheel and deal and make stuff happen, his drafting is horrendous. So unless that changes, this is going to be a fucking brutal 3 years.
It's tough, especially losing Martian. It's weird thinking that he's not a Bruin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he is a Bruin, but it's weird that he's not on that team.
Yeah, it's funny too. There's been some social media stuff because they asked Marchand during the Four Nations what he thought after playing on a line with Sam Bennett, and he goes, "Still a scumbag." Just Marchand being Marchand. And then Bennett, there was a picture of Marchand and Bennett in practice stuff side by side talking and laughing, and Bennett posted it and wrote, "Just a couple of scumbags."
Yeah.
And what did Bennett do last night? Threw 2 punches while Zadorov was being held down by 2 linesmen. So scumbags against scumbag. Listen, I'm pulling for Florida to win the East now because I'd like to see Marchand win the cup before, so.
They're going to be a fucking entertaining team to watch.
Oh my God. If they do a line with Tkachuk, Bennett, and Marchand, holy smokes.
Can you imagine going out against them? How fucking shitty you must feel. Like,
God, right. Somewhere right now, Austin Matthews crying into Mitch Marner's shoulder.
God, I would love if you imagine those 3 out against Matthews. Holy shit. It's also kind of a pinch me moment because it's been a really, really long time since the Boston Bruins were like a joke. You know what I mean? Like,
what's funny though, I agree with you, but they played the last 2 games fucking outstanding.
You know what I mean, though.
Like, no, I get it. But you can make the argument that they were a joke when that 2015 draft. But the last 2 games, they're like attention to detail. They're puck, they're no.
It's cool that they're not like caving in either. It shows that they have some dog in them, which is
nice. I mean, there's pride in that locker room, and maybe they'll. Marchand was asked flat out if he's going to re-sign with the Bruins in July. And as a true professional, he's not going to be like, yeah, that's the plan. But he was like, well, you never know what's going to happen. I'm open to anything. He can't come out and say that.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll come back.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Buffalo. Oh, anything else on the Bees? That's heavy. You doing okay?
Yeah, no. I mean, it sucks, but it's not. It's. I don't play with them. You know what I mean? It's still hard. I think the difference between our age is where I'm like, okay, where you'd be like, what the, you know what I mean? I think
Matt Zuccarello hurt me.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I still think there's a chance Bergeron comes back. So, so yeah, it's tough, but
that'd be a funny T-shirt. I still think there's a chance Bergeron comes back.
The morning skate. It's not a bad one, buddy.
Buffalo, they sent Nicholas Aube-Kubel to the Rangers for Eric Brandstrom. That Hockey RU deal. Jacob, Bernard Docker, and Josh Norris gave up Dylan Cousins, Dennis Gilbert in a 2026 second round. That was with Ottawa. So Buffalo really didn't do anything that like jumped off the page. They're still dead last. They only have 56 points. There was another thing like in the news about like I think Spin Chiclet said Rasmus Dahlin said he wasn't happy. He was looking to leave, and he's like, that's not true at all. But
that must suck having to answer questions like, oh, I heard on a podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I will say the one thing that Buffalo did is they may have put the nail in the coffin for Brady Tkachuk in Ottawa.
Yeah.
By getting Josh Norris. He is not feeling it.
Yeah. But at the same time, he is. At the same time, he's willing his team to the playoffs right now.
Well, I think Dylan Cousins helps them in the playoffs more than Josh Norris does.
Dylan Cousins, I think at the most they played 3 games. I know he has 2 goals.
Yeah. So I mean that helps, and I understand it from Brady Tkachuk's point of view. It's his best buddy on the team, and it just sucks, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will be interesting.
Calgary did nothing.
Nope. And somehow the playoff structure.
What?
Calgary's in the playoff structure right now. They just they got to bully Vancouver. And Vancouver,
they did nothing, but still didn't do the worst. The worst had to have gone to the Carolina Hurricanes. They traded Mikko Rantanen to Dallas for Logan Stankoven, a conditional first-round pick, a third-round pick, another third-round pick, and a conditional first-round pick. Both of those firsts were top 10 protected. And then they also got Mark Jankowski from Nashville for a 5th rounder. The whole Mikko Rantanen thing's crazy because Brind'Amour came out on a show and said when he got here, he told us that there's 4 teams that he was going to sign with, and we weren't one of them. And Brind'Amour even went on to say, was like, and I don't know why that wasn't like figured out before he got here, but he went in and started defending the fact that like normally when players are there, like they want to be there. He brought up Jake Gensel as an example. Gensel ended up going to Tampa, but I think Gensel wanted to stay in Carolina.
Rod Brind'Amour is the guy who, when he was a little kid, no one showed up at his birthday party, and he sat there crying like, "Why not?" And it's like, because you're an asshole. Yeah. No, you know what I mean. He just doesn't understand that everybody is not built the same. And I will say this. I never would say this, but he's 100% right. That fucking GM, what are you doing, dude?
Then he was also interviewed. They asked him, were there any other things on the market? And he's like, well, there were some other higher name players that we wanted to go after, but we were occupied doing the Mikko Rantanen deal.
You can't make 2 phone calls in an hour.
Like, so not only did you not really have a back, like that whole thing was
and no ability to multitask.
And Colorado, Natchez is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tearing it up. So.
But to be fair, would you want to go to Carolina? Ugh, awful.
No, I like their jerseys. That's the only thing I like about the organization. I think their jerseys are actually kind of slick.
The red or the black?
Both.
I like the black with the flag better.
Yeah. Chicago, they're a big deal. Spencer Knight from Florida. They gave up Seth Jones. Since this has happened, Bedard's been kind of going on a little bit of a heater. He seems to be playing a little bit more loose. A lot of people are saying the fact that like Jones not being there played a big was just like a cloud in the locker room, so to speak.
What's your impression of Seth Jones?
I think that's my impression of Seth Jones because he was supposed to be really good, and then he went to Chicago and he just was not good. And now I think he's living off of what people used to think of him as. And is riding that into being like, oh, I want to win a cup. Because I think he had said there was only 2 teams you want to go to. And I think one was Florida and one was Dallas. And Dallas didn't want him.
So the Bruins hosted Florida last night. And I don't think I've watched any Chicago play this year. But Seth Jones, I remember him being dynamic with Wisniewski, right? It was Werenski. Yeah, Werenski. And I remember them being a good tandem. But then I was thinking about it. I'm like, how much did I actually watch that? Or was it just clips? And it was Werenski doing everything and Seth Jones trailing and getting the rebound.
The only thing I really remember about Seth Jones is he played like 28 minutes one night. Or like he played like an obscene amount one night. Like when I think of Seth Jones, I think of that.
I was going to say that. So then I'm like thinking about it because I was watching the game last night and he is turning the wrong way, like going back to get the puck, and his outlet pass, he's like looking, pick off. Like the Bruins, maybe it stood out to me because the Bruins, who have been guilty of a lot of unforced turnovers, were not making them last night. But I think I counted at least 5 from him alone. And the stuff he did, like the puck, let's say, I don't remember the context of it, but let's just say he's on the right wall defensively, and the puck goes down into the corner to his right. He would turn to his left and take that long instead of the quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it was so glaring that it stood out to me, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, was Werenski maybe like the Charlie McAvoy and he was the floater? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, he's got 20 what? Was got 20 games to prove it with Ekblad, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, he'll be a good death piece for them in the playoffs.
Yeah. Colorado made some moves.
Oh yeah.
They got Eric Johnson from Philly, Brock Nelson from New York, William Dufour. So they got Brock Nelson, William Dufour. They give up Oliver Killington. They flipped to Anaheim. Kellen Ritchie, a first-round pick and a third-round pick. They got Coyle from the Bruins, which you mentioned earlier.
Yep.
They got Ryan Lindgren, Jimmy Vesey, and Hank Kemp for Calvin DeHaan, Yuso Parson in a conditional second, and then conditional 4. So Colorado,
with the Rangers retaining 50% of Lindgren too. That's big for them because that enabled them to make other moves.
Yeah. So Colorado immediately became a Stanley Cup contender for me when they got rid of Georgiev. The moment they got rid of him, no, seriously.
No, I know.
100%. The moment they got any other goal in there, I'm like, they have a shot. Like they can't not have a shot. Natchez has fit in well. Now, I know you don't like Danny Briere. Danny Briere traded Eric Johnson back to Colorado as like kind of like a, hey, go get one more. Which
I wonder if Eric Johnson was like, get me the fuck out of here.
No, because I think he talked about like how
I'm gonna have my chance to rip on Briere coming up.
Okay, well, I thought that was a cool move.
No, 100%. I don't have a problem with Briere. I think he's a decent person, and he like to do that for EJ is great because he only wants to play in Colorado. I question his skill set as a GM.
Well, we'll get into that.
But anyway, so Colorado, I believe personally, I mean, I would put my order of the West of Edmonton, Colorado, Dallas.
I think Colorado, Dallas, Edmonton.
Huh?
Is Brock Nelson not the best second line player in the NHL? Like when you think of Brock Nelson, like he was playing on the first line, the Islanders or whatever. But if you think about like a really good second line player and Brock Nelson's on your second line, you're like, damn, that's not bad.
And then if he's on the second line, where does that put Coyle?
100%. I mean,
it's the GM in Colorado is like perfect. That's the way to do it.
He's not bad, dude.
Yeah.
And they're doing all this without that Nichushkin.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And is Landeskog full tilt right now?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think he's going to be back. Yeah, go ahead. I'll look it up.
Luke Cunnin went to Columbus.
This is the only move Columbus did.
Yeah. Mikko Rantanen went to Dallas. We mentioned that earlier. Yep. I think Edmonton had a deal out on the table. There were a couple teams that kind of said that they had a deal. And Mikko Rantanen.
Yep.
And I think that there were just some teams that Mikko didn't want to go to. And this, I might be making this up, but I'm pretty sure Edmonton was one of them and Toronto was another one of them. But so Mikko's first game was against the Oilers, and holy fuck, were they targeting him. I saw this clip on Instagram, dude. He must have gotten run like 4 or 5 different times. I'm like, okay, well, they're not pleased with him. Give me a month. I want to watch him play there for a month because I want to see if he's just a product of McKinnon or if he's actually a good hockey player. Because I think in 12 games with Carolina, he only had 6 points. And it's not like he's playing with anybody bad. Sebastian Aho was pretty good. So that's what I have on that. Plus, fuck Dallas.
Yeah. I mean, they're a tough team to root for. Sorry, Fink.
Sorry, Fink.
I just, I'm pulling for Colorado or Edmonton. Yeah, Landeskog is skating, it looks like, but not playing.
You mentioned Edmonton. They got Jake Wallman. I hate that guy. Trent Frederick, Mac Jones, and Peter Hauser. I think Frederick's a good move. I think he'll fit in pretty good in Edmonton, honestly.
Yeah, and I think he's one of those guys that can play up and down the lineup. And listen, more guys protecting McDavid, Draisaitl, right? I mean, Freddie gives you space, and if he's buzzing up and down the wing on the third line, he actually took a little bit of a veiled shot at the Bruins too. They were like, where are you going to play? He's like, I don't care where I play, and he goes, clearly the last few years you've seen it. I played left wing, right wing, center. I played third line, fourth line, second line because they just bounced, which has got to be hard.
Yeah, Yeah. Florida, they got Vanacek, Jones, Marchand. They got a couple picks. Nico Sturm, Brad Marchand's a game changer for them. I
think Vanacek's a good, like a low key that gives Bob some rest down the stretch.
Yeah, that whole deal, man. So they get Seth Jones, right? And I know Spencer Knight's not the guy, but at one time he was thought to be the fucking guy. And Sergei Bobrovsky has to be getting older, dude. Like, how old is that guy?
36, maybe.
So I don't know. They're trying to repeat, and who knows? Maybe you get a halfway decent to Seth Jones. I like the fact that they went for it, so I'll give their GM like kudos for that.
Yeah. I hate when they don't say the age; they just say the year he was born. I got to do the math. 36.
36. I like that they're going for it though.
Yeah, same. Yep.
The Kings, they got Andrei Kuzmenko from Philly. This kid, I looked him up, dude. I think he had 42 goals his rookie year.
He's a good player.
Check out Mia Culpa's next week because that might have been. but I'm pretty sure. For a third round pick, Minnesota, they got Brazeau, Nyquist, and future considerations. Montreal, nothing.
Nope.
Right in the thick of a fucking playoff battle. Marty St. Louis says we're good. I don't hate it.
I don't think that's his call, but sure.
I would spin it that way.
Yeah, sure. That's why I said sure, because I knew what you were doing.
Nashville got Michael Bunting for Tommy Novak and Luke Schenn. They got some picks too. Oh well.
They just shipped everybody out.
I was interested to see what the Devils were going to do because deadline was just a few days after Hughes had the season-ending shoulder surgery. They get Cody Glass, Jonathan Gruden.
Yeah, not the football coach.
Dumoulin.
Cool if it did though.
Cholowski, Daniel Sprong, Mark McLaughlin. So they didn't really do anything. Dumoulin, I like him. I think he's a good piece on the back end because I think Dougie Hamilton's also out week to week.
But Tommy Fitzgerald, Anaheim retained 50% of Dumoulin. So
did I tell you about this bet that I made?
No, I don't think so.
So Johnny Laz, shout out to him. He's been on our podcast. Yep. He posted this one day. So it was right after Jack Hughes got hurt. And Devils not making the playoffs was plus 1,000. And I'm like, I'm sitting there.
He get it in between? What? Did he know? Did he get it in between before they adjusted it?
Hear me out. It's right after he got hurt. So I'm like, damn. And he tweets it out. I'm like, that's fucking good value. Because I'm thinking about the Devils and I'm like, I don't think they're that good. Like, they're good because of Jack Hughes. But if Jack Hughes isn't in the lineup, like, who's their guy? And I'm like, sitting there. I'm like, fuck it. Fuck you, Booth. I don't remember what you did. I remember what you did earlier in the year. Okay. So I put $40 on it. $40 pays out 400. The next day, literally the next day, he has season-ending shoulder surgery. Now it's like plus 300.
Oh, it dropped that much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh, value. Yeah. Let's go. So we'll see. Shout out to my brain. Shout out to Laz.
I mean, Daniel Sprong's a good player, but he's kind of tailed off. He hasn't lived up.
Daniel Sprong, dude.
Well, no, he hasn't lived up to the hype, and LaChance is in his first year at BU or second year. So
the Islanders, I think we've talked about all these other guys earlier.
Beckman, they got for
Cholowski.
Yeah.
All right, the Rangers, they got Calvin DeHall, Yusuf Parsonen. They got Brendan Brisson and a third-round pick for Riley Smith. Let me tell you why I like this deal.
That's a haul for Riley Smith.
Let me tell you why I like this deal. Brendan Brisson, he's played a few games for Vegas. Young kid. He lit it up before he got to the AHL. Kind of in between. It could go either way, right? But still okay value. Ask me who his dad is.
Marty Brisson?
Jack Eichel's agent. I'm thinking long play here.
Oh my God. Hal, if you're listening, Hal.
Long play here because, hey, hold on. Not this offseason. The offseason.
I know what you're going to say.
Jack Eichel and Connor McDavid are both free agents.
Oh my God. Hal, please call in.
The Rangers also got Carson Soucy for a 3rd round pick.
Dude, your fucking tweet, you were like, I don't remember who, but you're like, so-and-so has convinced me that Carson Soucy is good, so I'm going with it.
JT Miller.
JT Miller? Is that
JT Miller called him and told him to come to New York because he didn't know if he was going to waive his fucking no trade.
No shit.
That's what a reporter said.
JT Miller, man, I got to be honest with you.
So
I have never seen I have probably, but in recent years there hasn't been a free agent that's arrived with a new team, or not a free agent, a player come over via trade to a team and had such an impact not only on the ice, but it seems to be in the culture and in the room. JT Miller, fuck, no wonder he was on everybody's wish list.
So JT calls Soucy and he says, "Hey, bud, you got to come to New York. Daddy wants you to come to New York." Carson Soucy goes, "Okay, all right, Cap, cool." They played together. Okay, so he knows him. So the first thing I always do when the Rangers get somebody, guess what the first website I go to is?
Hockey Fights?
Hockeyfights.com. And I search Carson Soucy. And he has some fights. Now, listen, I don't think he's ever won one, truly. But the guys that he fights are tough motherfuckers, including JT Miller. And that's how the circle goes round. I thought that's awesome. They fought. They were teammates. If JT Miller wants that guy on his team, I want that guy on his team.
So you wonder the dynamics, right? Because JT Miller seems like he's got a bit of sandpaper to him as a person. And I'm not saying like he comes in like a dick, but I wonder if JT Miller, in my mind's eye, you got JT Miller sitting in the locker room when Lindgren was still there. They're sitting together, boys, fucking looking at going, look at fucking Mika over there, combing his hair. Look at Kreider fucking out, doing his jawline on his beard.
Did Chris just fucking kiss Mika?
and then Soucy walks in and he's looking around and Miller goes, "Sit right here where Lindgren was." And then they're sitting there. I just wonder, and it's got to impact a kid like Lafreniere. It's got to impact a guy like Fox. They're still young. They're still young players.
Lafreniere's having a bullshit year, but
but if
he can't skate, I'm gonna get ahead of that now.
No, I know, but
very slow.
But if Lafreniere kind of patterns his game after JT Miller, because he was playing remember we talked about Lafreniere as like a dime store Callahan a few years ago.
Yeah, now he's got to figure it the fuck out.
Well, but look at what I'm saying is look at his mentors. It was Kreider and Mika.
Yeah,
JT Miller comes in and fucking kicks that door open. He's like, "What's up, bud?" Maybe
we'll see. Ottawa, they got Dylan Cousins. We talked about that earlier. The Josh Norris fucking Kachuk losing it. They also got Fabian Zetterlund. My buddy Critch is a Sharks fan, and he's like, "Why the fuck would the Sharks get rid of this guy?"
It had to be that Zetterlund wanted to go because he's good.
So his agent said that. I think his agent's Claude Lemieux, Claude Lemieux came out and said, "Hey, yeah, we want to discuss with them, a new contract, and they must not have liked the terms that we came up with." And the next thing you know, whoop. So
did Mike Greer and Claude Lemieux ever have anything back in the day?
Oh, good question. No idea.
But that's a piece. I think that's a good piece for Ottawa, and which would have been a good piece for the Sharks to hang on to also.
Philly got a 3rd rounder, Nikita Grabenkin. They got that first. Oh, yeah, because they traded Scott Laughton. They traded Scott Laughton to Toronto for Nikita Grabenkin and a conditional 1st rounder for Scott Laughton's insane. And then that Eric Johnson deal. So why you were chirping Briere earlier?
Well, I just think like if you're trading it, not so much to the Kings, right? Because Kuzmenko has some upside, but to move Lawton to Toronto, who this is the year, right? This is the year. I feel like he gets pantsed a little bit if he's retaining 50% of all these salaries.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, just from the outside looking in, and like a fourth and a sixth, those are throwaways for the most part. But he got a first round coming back, which is top 10 protected. But I don't know. I mean, I will say that Philly has a lot of cap space, so who fucking cares, right? If they're allowing him to spend it, he's not giving up assets. I mean, he gave up what, a seventh, a fourth, a sixth. So that's really not a whole heck of a lot. And he got back a third and a first, a top 10, So, hey, I talked myself into Briere did okay.
That's the Morty Skate difference. Pittsburgh, they ended up getting Connor Dwyer, Connor Timmins, Chase Stillman, Max Graham, 2 third-round picks, 2 second-round picks, Tommy Novak, Luke Shen, who they dealt to Winnipeg.
See if I can look up what ended up coming back because I didn't have it in there.
And a 5th rounder. So Pittsburgh definitely trying to get some picks back. I mean, they got rid of Cody Glass, Luke Shen, Bavillier, Bunting. I always forgot, dude. Bunting was like good in Toronto, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. No, he was.
Was it Toronto? He was like? Well, didn't it go Bunting, Hyman? Now whoever's playing with Austin
Riley.
Matthews?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I might have made that up, but
who knows? I'm trying to look this up here.
All right, while you look up Luke Shen, so Pittsburgh, whatever. The Sharks, Noah Gregor, who I think had been on their team before, Zach Ostapachuk, 2nd-round pick, a 4th-round pick, Carl Berglund, a conditional 1st-round pick in that Wallman deal, a 4th-rounder, and Vinny Desharnais. San Jose, full rebuild, doing what they can, tank.
Yeah,
get somebody to play with Celebrini, that'd be cool.
Did you see the Celebrini sleepover thing?
Yes. Yeah.
When Tyler Toffoli thought they were joking around, then he put in the empty netter, and they were like, "You have to sleep over." And I guess one of the coaches came over and was like, "You have to sleep over." He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then someone was interviewing him, and he goes, "If I had known they were serious, I would have passed up that empty net shot."
That's pretty fucking funny.
He's like 32 years old.
Yeah.
And I imagine that sleepover was very much like Slapshot. Like, they're playing with their cars,
Seattle.
Oh, here it is right here. Oh my God.
They got a second.
What? Pittsburgh got Connor Dwyer and Connor Timmins for a 2025 5th-round pick. That's just Toronto's shedding salary so they can get these other guys. That's a good GM. You're taking advantage.
On TV real quick.
What?
Keep going. I gotta turn off my TV quick.
Oh, but that is isn't Pittsburgh GM? Isn't it Dubas?
Yes.
So he knows intimately the status of all the contracts in Toronto still.
Yeah.
And he knew they were up against it, and he saw what they were doing, and he fucking probably swooped in and was like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
So good on him.
Did Seattle get 2 first-round picks for this Yanni Gourde deal and Oliver Bjorkström? Is this real?
Yeah, a 26 and a 27.
That's insane,
dude. Yanni Gourde, Tampa wanted him. He's playing great in Seattle, but he's the fucking straw that stirs the drink in Tampa.
No, I know. I can't believe they gave up 2 first-round picks. I feel like Tampa never has first-round picks ever.
This is why they don't.
They say fuck the draft every year.
Yeah, they do. Now, I will say, if you're going to study a team's cap management, it's Tampa's.
Yeah. St. Louis did nothing. Cronin wrote a blog about it. We just talked about Tampa. All in all, Toronto ended up with Scott Lawton, Brandon Carlo, and Reese Johnson for the playoff push. I don't know why everybody loves Scott Lawton so good. Like, I know he's a good teammate, but like, is he gonna put the puck in the back of that?
They need. I mean, you want Scott Lawton running around, or you want Ryan Reif?
Yeah, fair. Carlo, I think, will make them a better team.
Yeah, you know what? So they gave up a lot for Carlo, and I understand Sweeney's looking at assets, but Carlo has term, or yeah, he has term still. At I mean, talk about motivating you over the summer. You were in the same division, and they traded you away with 2 years left in your deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd go a little bit harder, I think, in Boston.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Human nature. I like Carlo. I like his game. It was underappreciated here because he wasn't like the big fucking blow him up defenseman. You know what I mean? But he was a solid player.
Yeah. Utah got Victor Soderstrom, Akko Ratti, and the ghost of Shea Weber for a 6th round pick.
Dude, I couldn't believe that Shea Weber's name is still floating around.
Oh, yeah.
He has 1 more year.
Oh, yeah.
That might be the greatest contract in NHL history.
It's pretty funny. Vancouver, the 3rd rounder. Vegas got Riley Smith, the most relevant player probably in Rangers history. Washington got Anthony Beauvillier. And then Winnipeg, they get Luke Shen and Brandon Tanev. I feel like Winnipeg, every trade deadline, does the exact same thing. They go out and they get the best gritty guys they possibly can find.
Huge pickups, both of them. Huge pickups.
Shen had like fucking, I think he had 5 block shots the other night against the Rangers.
He's a beast.
Like laying out left and right.
Did you see the video of Tanev running around like saying hi to everybody?
Yeah.
Just so stoked to be back.
All in all, pretty good trade deadline.
That would be a good poll. Who's happy to be back, Eric Johnson or Brandon Tanev?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Riley Smith. Actually put him in there too.
Shout out to like Elliot Friedman for doing everything that he did, being on the horn there. I think really I'm okay with what the Rangers did. They got to get rid of some. They have to change the entire fucking team this summer.
Yeah, let me look at the Rangers here because there was something I saw.
Well, they re-signed Jonathan Quick today.
Oh, did they?
1
How
year.
many years?
They gave him another year. Yeah.
Oh, it was Richie. Richie has 2 more years, and then he's an RFA. I knew they got someone with term.
I was gonna say, I joined a hockey league for next winter. I had to
now.
Yes. I still can't believe it. I texted the guy the other day. We've had some good back and forths. They had a board meeting. Morning skates in. I'm excited about it. It's at Freer
What do you mean
Park.
a board meeting?
So the league has like a board. This league has been around since 1960.
Wow,
this league,
that's cool.
In playoffs, you don't just play them once. You have a series.
Yep.
They do the ice. Like, it sounds fucking legit.
So you're putting in a team?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Can I just get ahead of this now?
Yeah.
When you order your jerseys.
Yes.
I want a number 28.
Okay. All right. So we've already kind of talked about this. I think we're gonna get reversible jerseys.
Yeah.
I've never seen them before, but like
they might be heavy. Oh, call Casey.
Exactly. So the guy who that I've been talking to with the league, he recommended them because there's 8 teams, so you can't just pick a color. Like all the colors are taken. Unless we want to be an orange team. I don't really want to be a fucking orange team. So like his team has a reversible jersey. They're nice. They're like Red Wings jerseys, and then the reverse are black Red Wings jerseys, which are dope. So I think we're gonna go Rangers blue, Rangers white, and it's gonna be the morning skate logo, except for I'm gonna change those colors to like Rangers colors.
You doing the mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm fired up about it. It should be pretty fucking cool. I have a roster that I'm really, really excited about. It's the fucking boys are back, dude. I'm
When you do your jersey, don't forget about the shoulders.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I am so fucking excited though. So I was doing GMing today.
So are you getting how many guys are you taking from your current team?
A couple.
But your boys, though, not the guys you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like not weird. It's not. I didn't steal anybody.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. In a weird way, I asked. Your boy Clapp.
Yeah, he's coming.
Nice.
It's gonna be fucking sick. I'm really, really excited about it. So that happened. Oh, and then my fucking brakes or my calipers, I think, are all fucked up. So I'm getting new brakes, rotors, and calipers tomorrow. That'll be fun.
That's fun.
Shout out Thorpe for helping me out. And then I mean, just staying busy. Rangers fucking piss me off every night, playing chill with the boys. It's kind of what's going on. So
we had our first playoff game 2 nights ago. I don't know what night it was.
Oh, we did too. It was our only one.
What do you mean? Oh, you got eliminated?
Yeah.
I'm not being a dick. I don't know.
No, yeah.
Like look at me like fucking asshole.
It was Brownie was like 10-2.
So
yeah.
if
And
this
the
makes me
team that we played against, I don't even think they're that good. Like I think our line was in the defensive zone. So we lost 10-2. You played 3 periods.
Yep.
The line I was on was in our defensive zone for couldn't have been more than 30 seconds. Couldn't have, like, we had the puck in their zone the whole fucking time.
good goalie.
And we lost 10-2. The goalie played really, really well. We were just giving up way too much. So
We had
starting over, starting fresh.
We had the complete opposite result as we won 10-2.
Yeah.
Our first playoff game.
Yeah.
My line, 3 goals. My buddy Bill and Sid, their line had 4. The other line had 1, and then the defenseman, a couple of D chipped in. But yeah, good time. And I would still, and I said this to someone walking out. We're up 10-1.
Okay.
Right? 3 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
One line goes out. I'm like, we're getting another fucking shift because they were short bench. The other one, we had 3 lines. I'm like, we are rolling. And I'm like, I was saying to the guys on my line, I'm like, we need to set the tone because if I'm going to fucking yell, I can't take long shifts.
Yeah.
We were minute shifts. So 3 something, the other line goes out. I go, we're getting another fucking shift. So a whistle, we're like, get off. Right. And I got everybody yelling. Then the other line goes out and they're fucking, remember Bull Durham? Lollygagging here and lollygagging there. They're lollygagging back on the back check. And I literally stood up and I'm like, if you're fucking gliding, get off the fucking ice. Dude, we're up by 9 with a minute left and I'm yelling. And what happens? What happens? Sure as shit. One of the defensemen, gotta get my fucking points. Stupid fucking pinch during the change. They go down and score 10-2. And I said it. I go, I'm going to be more mad about the one goal
at
that
the
I
end.
got nice for against than everything else that happened. I was like a +5 before that goal. I was so mad.
Playoff Brownie's built different, dude. You're emotional right now, dude. Mad. I love it.
They were even giving me, like, a couple of the guys were saying stuff. They were like, one of them, my buddy Sid, he was on a line with Bill and John, and they get off, and I'm like bumping fists, right? And I go, nice shift, John. Nice shift, Bill. I go, fuck you, Sid. And he just, and then, sure as shit, he goes out after I told him to fuck off. Because before the game, he comes up to me like goofing around, and he's like, oh, say something nice. I'm like, you're handsome. You're doing really well. I hope you have a great game, buddy. Just believe in yourself. And he did dick. I tell him to fuck off. He goes out and has a hat trick after that. And I told him in the locker room, I go, some people respond to, a little bit. Everybody's got different buttons. So, yeah. But they were giving me shit that, like, yeah, good thing Brownie's nice and calm for the playoffs. I'm like, fuck you.
It's playoff season, man.
That's it.
Playoff season.
Oh, hey, I'd be remiss. I do want to say, shout out, happy birthday to our friend.
Happy birthday.
Olympian and professional. Today's Alina's birthday.
Oh, cool. Happy birthday, Alina.
Happy birthday, Alina Mueller. Of your Boston Fleet.
Boston Fleet. Yeah, I think that's all. I think that's what I got.
Oh, I did have a hero. Real quick.
Okay.
Because this was fucking cool, dude. And you'll appreciate this because your mom's a nurse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Is my phone going to fucking die while I'm trying to find it? Dude.
You're having a day, man.
But I did make syrup.
For those at home, this went from 9 to 9:30 to 9:35 to, okay, we're having a bad time, to, okay, now I'm settled in, to, now I think I cut my hand, to, oh, where are my notes, to, here are my notes, to, I printed the wrong notes, to another 10 minutes of him printing the right notes. This has been,
I'm old.
Brownie has powered through this.
Actually, you know what, though? The reason I wanted to do this is because I do enjoy talking with you and talking hockey. So now I'm in like a great mood.
100%.
100%. Meanwhile,
you showed up and I was like, everything that's bad in the world is happening to Brownie.
Oh,
like,
it's
at
fucking
this moment.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. I burnt the shit out of my hand with the syrup today, too.
Oh, dude. Here's one for you. All right. So I'm getting my truck done. Thorpe came and picked up my truck. and he dropped me off a car. Okay, an F-150, whatever. So I get in from there. I had like a winter hat on, stuff. I just put my stuff on the table, and I grab my phone, and I'm on my phone, right? And I smell something. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I kind of like look up a little bit, and something's like very light. And I look up a lot. When I put my stuff on the table, I put my winter hat next to the candle, and that shit engulfed. I was like, yo, what? So I patted that out. I called Clap. He's like, you did not. I sent him a picture. He's like, dude, you are burnt. I'm like, oh, yeah. Unbelievable. So shout out to myself.
Well, I burnt my hand because I'm an idiot, and the syrup was boiling, and my friend was like, oh, you can taste it and see how sweeter it's getting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. And she goes, scoop it with a mug, and then you swirl it around the mug so it cools, and you take a sip. I go, cool. I fucking put my whole hand in the goddamn thing like an idiot because clearly I have no depth perception all of a sudden. So anyways, my hero, I don't know if you heard of this guy. There's this guy Australian guy who died at age 88. So he had a good long life.
Oh, is this the dude that's an incubator?
No, he's a universal blood donor. Incubator is a guy who sits on eggs like a chicken.
No. There's a dude that was in an iron lung. You ever heard of this?
I've heard of an iron lung. Yes.
He passed away like a couple days ago. I thought that's who you were talking about.
I don't know if this is him. So this guy's name is James Harrison. He's a blood donor from Australia. He has saved the lives of more than 2 million babies.
Yeah.
I mean, what a fucking legacy.
Because he had like a rare autoimmunity.
Yep. So he had a rare antibody known as anti-D, which was used to manufacture a medication given to expectant mothers. He donated plasma every 2 weeks from 18 to 81. So that's 63 years every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, he's essentially like a maple tree. He's just getting tapped, dude. Fucking here's some more. Here's some more.
Right. That'd be a great nickname. So wait, 63 years.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks. So what's 25, 26 times 26? He donated plasma over 1,600 times.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, good on him. But what a life, man. What a legacy.
Yeah. Pretty fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
I hope they figured out what they're going to do without him.
Yeah, no shit.
Has anybody thought that part through?
Yeah, hopefully.
But that's Trade Deadline Pod. Check out the website, morningdesk8.com. A lot of blogs coming in hot over there. Shout out to the writers. Thank you for your
shout out to your boy Chad. He's doing great.
Yep, Chad, attaboy. And shout out to me.
Yeah, you and Chad.
That's what I got. So
I like the collab.
Yeah. Anything else?
Oh, as always, God bless you, Jerome McGinley, wherever you are. And during that discussion in the group chat, I will only take 4 correct answers for jerseys for Iginla. It's Calgary, Boston, Canadian national team, and the Kamloops Blazers. Other than that, they don't exist.
Yeah, that was I knew I was forgetting somebody. You're talking about the Instagram where it's like what player looked wrong in a jersey?
No, yeah, it was started on Instagram. No, you put up one that you were like, who's loved by.
That was a while ago. Yeah, and then yeah.
Dude, I put his full name in. I got like 200 direct likes. I was like, what is happening? No, this was you put it, but then it was in a group chat with the writers.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that just look odd in other jerseys. It just looks wrong. You know?
Iginla's definitely weird. Like, even though he went to the Bruins, it's okay. What really quick? You've had to have told me this before. Was Iginla still your favorite player before he went to the Bruins?
Yeah.
So, like, you just happened to get your favorite player of all time.
Yeah. The July 1st. Cool. People talk about like, do you remember where you were? Like, do you remember where I was? Do you remember where I was when like Lori told me she was pregnant? But that July 1st, I was on Duxbury Beach at my buddy Chuck's cottage, and someone came outside. It was July 1st, and they were like, your phone is making all kinds of noise. And I'm like, what? Why? And they're like, it's going nonstop. and there was only like one part of the house that you got service. And I went, I think I had no exaggeration. I had probably 35 texts of people being like, "Did you see? Did you see? Did you see?" I used to go whenever Calgary played in Boston. That was the one game I went to definitely every year that Iginla was here.
That's
Did
cool.
I ever tell you about my 499 story?
I don't know.
He was at 499 goals for his career, and they played here. Me and Lori went front row balcony, right above the Bruins net for 2 periods. Fucking 6 seats. He was sitting on 499. Calgary got fucking pummeled. 10-0. The Bruins beat him 10-0. He took a slap shot from like the inside circle of the right faceoff dot, right wing, and cranked one off the crossbar. And I remember saying to her, "Oh my God, I'm so glad it didn't go in." She goes, "Why? You would have been here for his 500." I go, "But it would have always been a bad memory for him." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "If I ever meet him, I'd be like, 'Hey man, I was at your 500th.'" He'd be like, "Great, we lost 10-1."
Yeah.
So he didn't score it that night, and he scored it 2 nights later at home in Calgary in a win.
Okay.
So now I have this little story to tell him.
Fair enough.
But anyways, God bless you, Jerome, and your 500 and more gold. Fucking beast.
He goes fucking beast. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back shortly with another episode. Thank you so much. Be kind to one another. Thank you.